Hi and welcome to Outwell and to the Nevada M from our Privilege collection. This is a medium-sized tunnel design tent that can sleep up to 5 people with bedrooms at the back and a good-sized sealed living space at the front. With it being from our Privilege collection, you'll find that we're using our Outex 3000 fly sheet on here. There's a good quality taffeta polyester material that's been fully PU coated on the inside, and all of the seams have been fully taped as well, to ensure that it's completely waterproof with a hydrostatic head of 3000 millimeters. So even in heavy rainfall, you're going to stay dry in the tent. The frame that we use on here from front to back is made up of our Duratec fiberglass poles. These are a little bit different to standard fiberglass poles, as these have a protective coating on the outside to ensure that they're going to be a little bit more strong and more resilient to high wind or strong wind conditions. Pitching the tent is certainly nice and easy because we colour code the pole sleeves to ensure that you get the right pole in the right place. Of course, if you want more hints and tips, then you can watch our setup video on our YouTube channel as well. So some other great features on here, you can see we have this rain-safe entrance on the side of the tent, giving you a good shelter over this side entrance so that if it's a little bit wet outside, you're going to be able to, like I say, just have a good bit of shelter over this door. We also use our wind stabilizer system on this tent here, so we'll just show you how that works. When setting the tent up, all we have to do is wrap these straps around the poles and fasten into position like this. You see that there's one at the top and at the bottom of all the poles around the tent, and this is where we have our guy lines pre-attached. When we take these guy lines out and peg them into position, it pulls all of the material against the frame of the tent, making it much more taut and therefore much more stable. In fact, we have tested this tent to withstand a force 9 on the Beaufort scale. So bad weather is covered with this tent, as I said earlier on, totally waterproof and also very wind resistant as well. The tent has plenty of reflective points all the way around the outside, so in the dark when you have a head torch on, these tabs here will be nice and bright. We also have our luminous pre-attached guy lines on here as well, so again all the way around the tent here. These should stand out a little bit easier when it's darker outside to stop you from tripping over them. When it comes to packing down the tent, you'll find that each guy line has its own retainer, so we can simply wrap up the guy lines in our hands and pop them in here so that the next time we come to use the tent, the guy lines are easily accessible. We have some good ventilation throughout the tent with the use of these pods on the corners at the front, and there is also ventilation panels at the back of the tent which correspond to the bedroom, which we'll show you in detail shortly. Coming round to the front of the tent, we have a good sized front door here. You'll see it's nice and wide, so getting all of your kit in and out of the tent is going to be nice and easy. It's also very high as well, so it certainly is a full walk-in height tent. I mean, I'm quite tall and I don't have to sort of duck down really low to get into the tent or anything like that. As I mentioned there, yeah, it's a nice wide door as well, so getting all of your kit in is going to be easy. Something I do just want to highlight is the detail that we go to at the front here to ensure that you're going to stay dry within the tent. So you can just see we have these Velcro tabs that run down the edge of the zip, and that is where our waterproof door will attach to the fly sheet when that's zipped down. So like a waterproof jacket, the door will cover these zips, but if water does get in behind that, we then have an extra piece of material here just to channel any of the rainwater away from the zip. If it does get through this, then there is then another piece of material on the inside of this, again with another piece of material to channel water away from that zip. But also just on the inside, I want to highlight that we do also tape the zips on the inside. So a lot of detail going into this to ensure that you are going to be nice and dry. So something else to highlight is the fact that we have a full mesh door here. So when the front waterproof door is rolled up, we can drop the mesh door down just simply by zipping that into position, giving great ventilation throughout the tent, but more importantly, hopefully keeping out any mosquitoes and midges and things like that. The two side entrances also have mesh doors, so if I just pop in here, you'll also see that we have the side door zipped down at the moment, so you can see that in place. And as I said there, the other side door also has a mesh door as well. So there's certainly plenty of space inside the tent, lots of head height. As I said, I'm quite tall, I'm around 6'3", and you can see I can stand up in here no problem whatsoever. There's also a good amount of floor space in the living area here, great for things like furniture or any storage units and things like that that you may have. The area also feels nice and big and bright because we have windows all the way around us, so when these doors are zipped down, each door has a window on there. Each of the windows also has a curtain though, so if you do want a little bit more privacy, then They can be rolled either halfway up or they can be fully closed as well. Some other nice features in the tent is that the ground sheet in here from front to back and side to side is fully sealed. It's a good quality ground sheet. It's double coated polyethylene with a hydrostatic head of at least 10,000 millimeters. You can see here that it's bathtub in style, so it's coming up at the edges, and obviously that's going to stop any drafts from coming into the living area. Hopefully it's going to keep out things like dirt, dust and sand, and more importantly again, keep out those unwanted creepy crawlies as well. At the back of the tent is where the bedrooms are, and a great feature here is that these come pre-attached, so that's a job that you don't need to worry about. The first time you pitch the tent, the bedrooms are already in place. You'll find that we have some good size storage pockets on the outside of the bedrooms, and that the doors also have mesh paneling on here as well, again to allow for good ventilation within the bedroom. There's even more ventilation across the back, which you can see here with this mesh panel, which corresponds to an outside panel on the fly sheet. Down in the corner here we have some handy sized storage pockets which are ideal for smaller personal possessions. And then one thing I want to highlight here is that we separate the two bedrooms with a zip sheet here that obviously we can just roll up to create one large bedroom, or have down as we have here to separate the two bedrooms. Now one thing I haven't pointed out, and you won't be able to see from the angle of the camera here, is that we have a lantern hanging point at the front of the tent, and then leading away from that, actually going down both sides, is some cable tidies that run down to cable entry points. So as I say, there is one on either side of the tent, so all it is a zip that can allow access into the tent for any electrics that you may have without having to have this door here zipped open. If you're looking for optional extras for the Nevada M, we certainly have plenty available for you. There is a carpet for this living area here, which is a flat woven carpet. We have a footprint available to go under the tent that you can pitch the tent on top of to ensure that when you take the tent down, your ground sheet is going to be clean and dry. We also have a front extension available for the tent, and also a front awning for anybody who's looking for a little bit extra outside living or storage space. So that's all of the features of the Nevada M from our Privilege collection. Thanks very much for watching.